In this video, we have one of the most interesting and one of the most groundbreaking news and updates coming out from the country of Finland that will definitely blow your mind, because as we speak, the president of Finland and the president of Alexander Stubb is currently on the run. Why is this man currently on the run? Well, in this video, we shall be analyzing and discussing every single thing that you need to know and understand. Yes. So what is currently happening in the country of Finland? Well, the 15th of May of 2025, the president of Finland, like we all know, traveled to Tanzania for a summit and to hold a series of talks with the president of Tanzania. But then he was approached by a supporter of Simon who called him out publicly, castigating him on the way and manner he has been treating Simon in his correctional facility. Yes. Surprisingly, this particular incident went super viral on the internet. It drew the attention of a series of activists domiciled from all across the world. These activists collectively criticized Alexander Stubb. Showing right now on your screen are some of the statements released on Twitter by some highly ranked activists in the world calling out the president of Finland. At the same time, these activists also asked a series of countries of the world to place restrictions on Finland. The moment we saw this press release coming from activists, a series of activists of the world, we never believed that any country will listen to these activists. But surprisingly, it feels and it seems like Russia and Sweden has placed restrictions on Finland regarding the way and manner they have treated Simon and other human rights cases in that country. Well, showing right now on your screen is a quick description of the fact that Russia, Sweden, and also the international group known as NATO has placed a series of restrictions on Finland regarding Mr. Simon's case. Yes, this does not sit well with the president of Finland in the person of Alexander Stubb, because if you look at the map of Finland, you notice that Finland shares boundaries with Sweden and Russia. So if the countries you share boundaries with are not in good terms with you and have placed restrictions with you, it's going to greatly affect your security, greatly affect your economy, and greatly affect other international ties you have with that country. Well, showing right now on your screen is a quick description of the fact that Finland shares land borders with 3 countries involving Norway, Sweden, and Russia. It also shares maritime borders with Estonia, Sweden, and Russia. So as you can see, 3 out of the 2 countries that Finland shares land borders with have placed restrictions on the country. This did not sit well with the president of Finland. And that is why, out of fear and tension, he placed a call. He called the current prime minister of Canada. Yes, he called this man as CEO. My country is in a mess. I attended a summit in Tanzania and I was called out, and this got the attentions of some activists, which later transferred this info to countries of the world. And now Sweden and Russia have placed restrictions on me. What should I do? Can you guys come in and help me? Well, just in case you don't believe me, or just in case you want to fact check me, feel free to go to the official Twitter page of Alexander Stubb to find the information for yourself. Showing right now on your screen is a quick confirmation that Alexander Stubb has called on the Prime Minister of Canada and the entire country of Canada to come to their aid. This article reads, and I quote, "Canada is a key Arctic ally for Finland. I had a call with Prime Minister Mark J. Carney. We talked about strengthening economic and security cooperations between our nations." Yes, and this is coming from Alexander Stubb. The moment we saw this tweet, we had to fact check it. We had to double check if the president of Finland actually called the Prime Minister of Canada. Well, we went to the Twitter page of the Prime Minister of Canada and we noticed that he reposted or retweeted the statement coming from Alexander Stubb. This is a very, very interesting one. But then something very captivating happened behind the scenes that we all need to pay attention at this particular point in time. Yes, the activist that called out the president of Finland, the activist known as Dr. David Yakorach Masanga, who is the founder of Pan-African Forum Limited and Associates. This man, Dr. David, placed a call across to the government of the USB asking them to do one thing. He asked the government of the USB to help him connect with Simon in Kilamakowski Correctional Center. So the question here is, why is this activist trying to reach Mr. Simon? But then we'll come back to this particular case in a second. We'll come back to the conversations heard between Dr. David and Simon, so you can.
That was a breaking news coming from Finland recently, where we see the Finland government attacking the ambassador to Nigeria, Selila Sana, in Nigeria, ambassador that feel that he has compromised. And of course, the parliament are also warming up to see whether Alexander Stubb is going to face impeachment. There's so much storm gathering in Finland now. Massive protest is going on in Finland territory as I'm talking to you now. The pro-Biafran government in exile are saying that enough is enough. Finland has not been able to come out and say that this is exactly what they are doing about Simon Ekpa. Unfortunately, it has thrown us into darkness, So they were even saying that who is the brain, who is pioneering the reported media statement that said that Finland court has already charged Simon Ekpa of incitement. And they are coming out to say such story is never true and has never come from Finland. And I don't know why they are trying to do a U-turn, 360 degrees U-turn. Now, I'm talking about Selina Sana, the ambassador of Finland in Nigeria. I'm talking about the Finnish government too, under Alexander Stubb. That is massive, unrest within the government space, especially the Finnish parliament are threatening because there's so much pressure from the EU, from the UK, UN, who are stating clearly that Mazi Simon Ekpa never violated any international law. Now what he's saying is within the ambit of the law. Then how come that it is no longer in the public space anymore? And the struggle and the damage and the image of Finland and Norway is at stake. And another thing that was revealing is when during the course of investigation, there was a leaked video, where it was alleged or reported that we are having more Norwegian and more Finnish officials and businessmen now in Nigeria oil and gas. So this is triggering, a whole lot of unrest, question and confrontation between, Biafran government in exile and of course a Finnish government and of course the EU nations. They want to know actually what is actually happening. Why would they be silencing, somebody who is seeking for the defense of his own people while his own people are being killed? The same thing happened to Finland. They liberated themselves from Russia. Then why is Alexander Stubb pretending because they want to give you crude oil and you want to use it to destroy what Finland stood for as one of the class fundamental human rights country in the world? It's a big embarrassment now, and we are seeing the revelation spreading everywhere. Simon Ekpa, from what we heard, from the understanding, is already in good spirit. The lawyer in Gumerus is already in good spirit. Everybody is in good spirit. There's a network of, in fact, as I'm talking to you now, Biafra matter is in 7 EU countries for the first time in the history of the world. In the court of EU countries now, Biafra matter is there, not only in Finland. So what I want to tell you that we are not, I wonder, I also not wonder, but I saw the joy, the celebration that was going on, and with a lot of credit being given to Dr. Ngozi Orabeze, who Trump has just appointed his childhood friend into his cabinet about 2 days or 3 days ago. He was jubilated and he was telling everybody, that very soon it is going to be a beautiful story for Biafrans all over the world, for 85 million Biafrans all over the world, and Simon Ekpa is going to be hard, very soon because everything is being worked out. Finland government is collapsing, and it looks like Simon Ekpa is also trying to, rise against, his fundamental right, to enforce his fundamental right on the Finnish government. We saw the AGF said no extradition. All of a sudden, we are saying Finland court has charged him to court. The same Finland government is coming out to say, deny, there was nothing like that, and we cannot be seen, we cannot afford to go against human rights law, international law that governs powers self-determination. You know, people keep on wondering, you know, in the absence of Simon Ekpa, people are still dying in the eastern part of the country, you know. But what we're seeing now that there are some states that has not been able, that has not collapsed under Fulani herdsmen invasion, is now being invaded by the Fulani. And the southern governors, nobody's talking, and the Nigerian military said, go and defend yourself. And we saw the military crying. We saw everything happening. They are tired, everybody are tired. Then my question is that, you know, does Finnish government, Alexander Stubb, do you have a report? Are you monitoring development in Nigeria? This is a Biafran Finland citizen. Are you monitoring the reason why Simon Ekpa do what he does? He has not been able to use arm against anybody. He has not done anything. He has not carrying arm. He's not a member of any terrorist organization. Then the same people that refuse to surrender oil well since 1960 to date are the ones holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and still want to target Simon Ekpa at the end of the day. And since 1960 till now, they have not been able to unleash or relegate or even forget the oil well. Or no government, subsequent government is afraid of the Fulanis in Nigeria, yeah, and that's why they are not able to collect even one oil license from them. And you are in partner. I want to call Bola Ahmed Tinubu attention to this, you know, honestly. As a South, I don't know whether you're among them, that's my business, but I want to tell you that, you know, Nigerians, Igbos are dying on daily basis under your word. And people who are standing up, I thank God that whatever happens, if Igbo is going to keep silent and watch these people, because his brother is the president and he's not saying anything at this point in time, people are watching too, you know, how you are going to become brave, how bravery you are at the end of the day to confront the wickedness in disguise. But that is what Simon Ekpa is, you know, and that is what he represents. He's the Prime Minister of Biafra, de facto Biafran in exile, and he's saying it loud and clear, you know, injustice, marginalization, which has also been acknowledged by the Nigerian government, even though they are pretending about it, because our system, our government is not run by people who are not supposed to also, they are being influenced by the Fulani, the emirs or whatever, who are already owing the larger chunk of crude oil wealth in that, and they are using it as a result of money to intimidate politically and push the Fulanization and Islamic agenda down to the eastern part of the country. And these are the symbols of resistance. And Alexander Stubb, you are watching them. Let me tell you, Alexander, you only rule Finland for some time and get out, you know. Remember that posterity will judge you. If it is true, you are not protecting Mazi Simon Ekpa at the end of the day, then there will be questions, because a lot of people are rising. Let me give you an instance. Alexander Stubb and other people who are against the self-determination move. Of course, thank God that we have somebody like, you know, Ibrahim Traore, whom people can reference at this point in time. Pan-Africa Associate Forum, you know, is one of the, it's just like Amnesty International. You know, even the Amnesty International are liars. They are liars. Are they not seeing people dying? What are they reporting? You are only interested in whether they are being paid. That's why I tell you that Nigeria can never be a blessing to themselves. Look at what Amnesty International is reporting. And you are seeing that Nigerians are being killed on a daily basis by these people. You cannot report it. Then you are seeing people who are harmless and have no weapon against them. Is the one you are reporting. That is why they said that the Western world hate Africans, and it's the Africans themselves that refuse to use their brain. As simple as that. What is the justification of what Finnish government is trying to do because of crude oil? And you want to sentence your own citizens to death so that you balance? Well, I saw the picture very clearly at Vatican when Macron and Alexander Stubb meet, and I wonder what they are discussing. Before then, Nigerian government met with Alexander Stubb behind closed doors. We know what happened. We know the deal that is going on. All of a sudden, we are seeing Norway and Finland in the oil and gas industry. And that is what they want to achieve, because that is what the Fulanese control, and that is what they use against other people. And we are saying no to that. See, that's why I look at some people from Niger Delta. I look at them. I say, well, you know, a time will come when things will be defined properly. Imo State have the largest gas deposit in the world. Imo State alone, in the whole world. They have been enjoying the so-called crude oil. Is Niger Delta people enjoying the crude oil now? Are they enjoying it? they planted this hatred up and down, and you can see the destruction that is going on the ground. And the only thing they can do is to call us and ask us to secure the pipeline, so that we will watch as oil, crude oil, that we're going to watch as we will supervise our own destiny. That is absolutely rubbish, and that is what the likes of Martin Namdekano, the likes of Simon Ekpa is talking about. When would that stop? And that is the reason why people are questioning. But African Associate Forum, it's just like Amnesty International. They are questioning. They have taken the matter to 5 EU countries now. So Biafra is in every court in the EU now, and it's a big kudos to Dr. Ngozi Arabeze, and it's a big kudos to people. It's not even a Nigerian. The chairman of that Pan-Africa is not even a Nigerian, but he has observed it over the time and discovered that this is pure injustice, and people, the world, Africa and the world need to rise against it.
Thank you.
So on that note, I don't know how many minutes it is, but let me say very clearly now, if I can be able to proceed to 14-15 minutes.
Use 10 minutes.
Okay.
11 minutes.
Oh, okay, so to just round up, the fact still remains that there is uncertainty over Simon Ekpa and the Finnish government, and that will take us for another edition where we will continue to invade and begin to discover, what is happening in Finland. The Finnish government, we have Biafrans there, we have Igbos in Finland, and we have Igbos in Scandinavian countries, nomadic nations, Denmark, Norway, and all the Sweden and all the countries. We have them here, and they are coming together now, and that's why we are experiencing mass pressure on Finnish government to do the needful. And what is the needful? Even though they have come to deny, there was no incitement at all. So we want to see them open trial, if they can, on Simon Ekpa. Then let us see what is going to happen. But the issue of extradition back to Nigeria has been ruled out. Thank you.